What's up, everybody? This time to wrestle with Suplexus. I'm Suplexus, and today I am presenting Future Slam 9, the final Vendetta. So, normally with these Future Slam videos, I take something, I just fabricate something in my mind, or I add on a little bit to pay-per-views I did to WrestleMania 41, like a little new things. But this video is different for me. So the reason I'm making this is because of an interview that happened on WrestleMania weekend. I don't know who interviewed Roman Reigns. I don't know much about it. I haven't even seen the clip. But what I do know and what I did hear from Pile Driver, my mom, I heard that Roman said that he has 1 or 2 years left in WWE. So, for me, this was tough to hear because, I've been a wrestling fan for over half of my life, definitely. My grandfather used to be a wrestler back in the 70s, and my mom, or Pile Driver as you know her as, is a wrestling fan. So I kind of got brought up watching wrestling because they did, and I started probably I wasn't a big fan until about 10 years ago, but I started watching in 2007, I would say. So I had my favorites, every kid back then probably liked Rey Mysterio, just like I did. Every kid liked Batista, like I did. Every kid liked John Cena. Those three were my favorites from what I remember. And I would watch it every now and then, but in 2014, this happened right here. Seth Rollins turned on Roman Reigns. So, after this, it's I'm not sure why. I can't remember why exactly, but I gravitated towards Roman Reigns, and from the summer of 2014 to now, to forever, Roman Reigns is my guy in wrestling. So this was pretty difficult to hear, because when Roman Reigns retires, I see people retire. I seen Triple H retire. I was watching during that. I saw Kurt Angle retire. We're seeing John Cena retire this year. So I've seen it before, and it is sad, don't get me wrong, but I haven't had a super deep connection with them. Roman Reigns, I would say, outside of family, he is one of my favorite people on the planet. So it hits a bit harder, and in this video today, what I'm doing, I am booking the final send-off to my hero, the person that I've looked up to since I was 10 years old. So, excuse me if this is a bit more emotional than other videos I've done, if I get a little more emotional, but today I'm gonna give you my take, my booking, if the rumors are true that Roman is done in 2 years, this is how I do it. So, we gotta get some background stuff out of the way, because this is gonna be a focused video, a specific time frame, and some events that are gonna come up won't matter as much, so I'm just gonna fly through them. So right now, Roman Reigns is out because of an attack from Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. What I do with that, I have Roman Reigns challenge Seth Rollins for the title in like the summer or fall of this year, and he loses. Okay, wrap that up. And then The Rock, if he can work WrestleMania 42, I run Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Roman has Ulafala. The Rock comes back, he wants it, and you do tribal warfare, tribal combat at WrestleMania 42. Roman Reigns wins, and then he says, I'm not fit to hold Ulafala, gives it back to Jay. Nice full circle thing from 2020 when this all started, when the tribal chief character first started. And then, we're at 4:38. And then, after that, in the summer of, next year's summer, I have Drew McIntyre feud with Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre finally gets his revenge. So Drew beats him, or they have a match at Money in the Bank, gets thrown out. Drew fights him at SummerSlam, and Drew bloodies Roman Reigns. So that's where we're at. Background out of the way, let's get into it. So after SummerSlam, the landscape of WWE has Seth Rollins as the world champion. I don't know who he beats for that title. Maybe you have Sami Zayn beat him at WrestleMania, and he ends up getting the title back at SummerSlam from potentially Sami Zayn or someone else if a heel dethrones Sami Zayn. So Seth is the champ, and you have some pay-per-view in September. It really doesn't matter to me what pay-per-view it is. Let's call it Clash at the Castle Ireland, because that is probably going to be a thing someday. So, at Clash at the Castle Ireland, it is announced about a week before the show, after Roman got brutalized at SummerSlam, he is gonna make his return at Clash at the Castle Ireland. So, at that show, in the middle of the show, Roman Reigns comes out, and he doesn't have any Ulafala on, no Ulafala. He is completely stripped of every gimmick. He is not the big dog, he is not the OTC, he is not the head of the table. It is Roman coming out looking like a normal human being. He comes out in a nice shirt, comes out in nice pair of pants, comes out with shoes on, maybe a little necklace, but it feels a little awkward to see Roman like this. Roman comes out and he says, last month at SummerSlam, I fought Drew McIntyre, as you all know, and I did not make it out that match on my own 2 feet. I had to get stretchered out, and I took a beating. And this made me realize something. Because over the past few years, no matter how high I get, no matter where I go, whether it's holding the championship for over 1,000 days, whether it's getting my Ulafala back, whatever I do, it seems like it all comes crumbling down eventually. And this was no more apparent to me than what I've been through this year. Because last year, in 2025, I had the worst year of my career. I couldn't win the Royal Rumble. I failed at WrestleMania. I lost my wise man. I lost to Seth Rollins. And I lost everything. And then I come back. I come back to get revenge on Seth Rollins, but I lost. I lost again. Again to Seth. And then I come back. I realize that The Rock is trying to take over the bloodline. He takes all the follow from me. He takes everything that gave me meaning. So I had to get it back, and I did. And then I passed the legacy down. And when I beat The Rock, I thought I was getting my momentum back. I thought I was getting back on track to being world champ again. But guess what happened? Right when I thought that I had it, right when I thought I would get back to the promised land that I once lived on, I got shot right back down by Drew McIntyre. And for the past month, whether it was in hospital, whether it was at home with my family, I've had to think. I really gave it thought. And this has gone past me. Pro wrestling has gone past me. So, I've been given the opportunity to say whatever I want. And I've done it all. I headlined Manias. I've headlined the most Manias out of anyone. I've won a Royal Rumble. I've done everything except one thing. One thing. I don't have much time left. The clock is ticking on my career. Seth Rollins, whenever I have hit the low points, you have always been there. You have always been there to laugh at me. In October, at No Mercy, I'm going to challenge you for the World Heavyweight Championship. And after I finally beat you, I can finally rest on the greatest career of all time, on the island of relevancy. Because whether it was the big dog or the OTC, it's always been you. And this time, it won't be. So, Roman lays down the challenge for No Mercy. And this build for this match, Seth Rollins accepts, by the way. For this match, it is just... I should show the graphic. So, anyways, going into this match, the whole thing is Roman Reigns feels like he's been robbed of beating Seth Rollins constantly, whether it was Money in the Bank because the looming threat of Dean Ambrose, whether it was Royal Rumble with the DQ, there's always been something. So it is agreed upon so that there are no excuses for Roman Reigns. There's nothing he could say. It is agreed that they will have a 60-minute Iron Man match at No Mercy. So, the promos for this one, it's a really personal feud. I gotta get that out of the way. And it is centered around the steel chair, with Roman constantly trying to hit Seth with that chair to get that little bit of revenge. But Seth always gets out of the way. And I have to mention here, Seth Rollins is no longer a heel world champion. He is a babyface world champion now. So, the dynamic here, it's not heel versus face. It is Roman Reigns just his utter hatred for Seth Rollins just consumes him, and he's on his way out. And there's one thing that he can't get over, and it's the fact that he hasn't gotten his revenge on Seth Rollins for what he did to the Shield. So that's the build here, and I want to do some really good promos between them where they just let out everything on each other, let out everything that they've ever done. Seth Rollins and Roman, they talk about Seth cashing in on Money in the Bank and ruining Roman Reigns. They talk about WrestleMania 40, how both of them walked out without their championships because of what they did in that tag match. They go over everything. The Royal Rumble match that ended in a DQ, the betrayal of the Shield that started it all. They just have a crazy war of words where they just unleash every crime they've committed onto each other in one promo. And this feud, it is a blood feud. They're out for each other. No brand is safe. You have Punk Drew type of things. That's what I mean with no brand being safe, like Punk attacking Drew on SmackDown. You do some similar thing here. It's beyond just Raw or SmackDown. It's both of them. So, at No Mercy, we got an Iron Man match for the World Heavyweight Championship. They go out there, they put on a classic. And Roman Reigns, Seth, they're fighting. The first fall happens as a result of a countout, so both of them are fighting in the crowd. Roman ends up spearing him through the announce table leader, slides in the ring. He wins by countout, the first one, and way later in the match, we get Roman Reigns, and he sees his wheelchair. He has an opportunity to hit Seth Rollins with it, and he takes it, but Seth gets the fall. Once again, Roman hitting Seth with that chair, just like WrestleMania 40, costs him a fall. And then, eventually, Seth Rollins hits Roman Reigns with a curb stomp, and it's 1, 2, 3. It's 2-1. And that happens at the 15-minute mark. And now it's down to the last one. And in the end, there's like 10 seconds remaining. The ref is counting down. Roman gets desperate, goes for a spear. The ref counts 1, 2, but no fall is scored because the bell rings. Just as the ref is about to hit 3, time expires. And still, your World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. And Roman Reigns at this point, he loses it. He drives the steel chair over and over, bashing Seth Rollins with it. Eventually, he even elbows him in the face or gets stiff shot, and Seth begins dripping blood. And the show ends. This is, by the way, I want to point out, the final time Roman Reigns will ever headline a pay-per-view. The show ends with security pulling Roman Reigns off. Like they're chaining him up, they're handcuffing him. He is screaming at Seth, "I'm going to kill you," over and over. And that's how the show ends. We have Seth Rollins, a bloodied mess. And now, Roman Reigns is suspended. Yep, I am using that thing again. where we do the suspension thing. Adam Pearce suspending someone. We're gonna do that with Roman Reigns here. So it's like a 2-week suspension. And the next show coming up, this is mid-October. The next show coming up is Crown Jewel in early November. So Roman comes out, his suspension is lifted. He comes out demanding a match with Seth Rollins. He says Seth Rollins, somehow, someway, in a 60-minute Iron Man match, you managed to weasel your way out with the title because everyone in the world knows that if that bell never rang, we would have had a draw, and in overtime, I would have taken that title from you because one of us walked out of that match and the other had to get carted away, and it sure wasn't me who ended up in the hospital. So I want another match, and Adam Pearce comes out and he is pissed. He says, Roman Reigns, over my dead body, do you ever get another match with Seth Rollins? Roman, we planned this out. This is your retirement tour, Roman. You look at me, Roman. This is your retirement tour. So, I'm not gonna let you wreck your send-off by being obsessed with Seth Rollins. I'm not gonna let you ruin your retirement tour for all these fans so that you could get your hands on Seth Rollins. Face it, Roman, you're not gonna fight him again. Enjoy your tour. We have so many people on this roster for you to fight. Enjoy your retirement tour, please. And Roman says, you got all these people lined up. I don't care, because I said at Clash at the Castle, there's only one thing I want, and that's Seth Rollins. I could care less about who wants to fight me in that locker room. I could care less about any dream matches that fans have come up with. I am here to take down Seth Rollins. I'm gonna give you one more chance. If you don't give me an opportunity at the title, let alone a title shot, you are not gonna like it, because you're no longer dealing with the tribal chief. You're dealing with Joe and Y. You're dealing with Roman Reigns, a man who is hurt, a man who is traumatized by Seth Rollins, and I will do whatever it takes to get revenge, not only for me, but for Moxley. And Pearce refuses. And everyone is getting pissed at Roman for wrecking his retirement tour, his own one. So, eventually, we get to Survivor Series. Seth Rollins is defending his title against whoever. It could be anyone. Maybe Drew McIntyre. Why not? He defends against Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, when the ref is out, slides in the ring. Clocks him with the steel chair. Drew McIntyre, due to that, becomes the world champion. And now we get to the Royal Rumble. Once again, Roman is being begged to compete in the Royal Rumble, but he refuses. He says, I wanted to be in the Royal Rumble before because of Seth Rollins. Seth has nothing of value to me anymore. Give me Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. They refuse. So what does Roman do? Shows up in the Royal Rumble and eliminates Seth Rollins. And now we are on the final stage of this retirement. So I'm just gonna go over some things for this feud. And whereas No Mercy was about pull apart brawls, it was about Roman Reigns having a bloodlust to take out Seth Rollins. This story, I would say it's a bit more depressing, because this is simply about someone who knows that he is on his last legs. Roman Reigns is aware that he is throwing away his entire retirement tour. He is throwing away the last 6 months of his career just for Seth Rollins. He does not care. He is completely aware of it, but he is obsessed. He is addicted to the idea of defeating Seth Rollins, of getting a little ounce of revenge on him. Whereas Seth Rollins, he, in the build to this, he apologizes to Roman Reigns constantly. He is apologizing. I'm sorry about what we did to the Shield. Could we end on better terms? Why, Roman? Why do you throw away your career? It could be you, Mox, and I running things. It could be us. And then Roman says, yes, you're right. It could have been us. If you didn't stab us in the back, it could have been us. Mox could have been AEW champ. You could have been world champ. I could have been Universal champ. We could have run 2 companies. We could have run 3 weekly episodic shows. But instead, you stabbed me in the back. You want to talk about me annoying you? You're the reason why I'm the tribal chief. If you didn't stab me in the back, maybe I wouldn't have to go to my family. Maybe I wouldn't feel inclined to control my family and manipulate them until I get what I wanted. Maybe I could have been happy, Seth, because you say you love pro wrestling. I believe you. Ever since June 2014, I have hated this business, because I know whenever I get to the top, whenever I'm so close to the top for the past 12 years, you are always there to crush me. You are always there to stop my momentum. It's always you. It's never anyone else. Then Seth rebuttals at him. Yeah, it's never anyone else. But see the way you treated your cousin? See the way you treated Sami Zayn? If this makes no difference, the only difference is I did sooner what they would have done anyways. What would have happened then? Would you haunt Sami Zayn? Would you be haunted by Sami? Would you be haunted by the Usos? So they are going at it, and the match is made for WrestleMania, but Adam Pearce is struggling to actually have this go through because that heated. So on the final Raw before WrestleMania, Roman Reigns agrees to Adam Pearce that yes, he is obsessed with beating Seth Rollins. For the past 11 years, he's been addicted to getting revenge on him. But WrestleMania, if he loses, that is his final match. It is over. Win or lose, He is not allowed to ever wrestle again. He is not allowed to get another shot at getting revenge on Seth Rollins. So the match is made. And for this one, it does not headline because it doesn't need to. It's not for a world title, and this is a conclusion to a story. The main events after Roman's headlined with The Rock. Night 2, Night 1 doesn't really count to me as a main event. That's a whole different discussion. But after he headlined with The Rock, it doesn't need to headline WrestleMania. So these two go at it, and in the end, Seth Rollins emerges victorious. And at the end of the match, Seth turns his back to Roman. Hit me. Roman turns around, and they embrace in the ring. Like tears flowing down their eyes. This is the end of an era. And Roman Reigns, after 11 years, he could finally rest easy on a successful career while forgiving Seth Rollins for what he did all those years ago. Thank you for watching. This has been Suplexus. Have a good one. I'll see you after May 25th on my birthday and Roman's.